trôi loa. Và em nhanh 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 bước thật siêu sang và là lướt cùng nụ cười sang người thắm hồng ngàn lời ước. Ước mơ đẹp như em, ước mơ gầy như em, ước mơ được kề bên em. Và em tung tăng đi tới chào mừng một cuộc đời mới với ánh sáng lấp lánh trên điệu nhạc thơ xuân sang. Hãy vững bước đi đến vinh quang làm đẹp cho đời.
Welcome to our Zoom meeting in celebration of Ao Dai. Ao Dai is the traditional piece of clothing for our Vietnamese culture. Generally speaking, when referencing Ao Dai, a majority of people think that we are only celebrating the female beauty, but it is far from the truth. It's actually a national symbol of Vietnamese people, and therefore we also have a similar version for male as well, because it is a national symbol. And that is just the tip of the iceberg of Ao Dai Day, May 15. Underneath, we also, similarly to every event that we do, we would like to convey a underneath message of we wanting to spread awareness against human trafficking and child exploitation, not only in the developing world, but also in modern civilized developed world, that this issue, this heinous crime is being committed. So it is a twofold meaning. So today is going to be a pretty short segment. We don't want to take too much of your time, which the format of today is just going to be some very short and friendly Q&A. We have history with each other. We've been to some events together, so that's something to talk about. And also we will let our audience know when they're watching this recording later on, the steps that we may take together toward spreading awareness further about this crime, and also what are other ways that we can do to help mitigate this problem in our city, in our province, in our country. So with that, without further ado, I would like to ask Kelly if Kelly wants to start off with one of our MPP or counselor.
Good morning, everyone. It's really a pleasure to see all of you. Welcome, MPP Tom Rakosovic and Councillor Anthony Ragusa. Thank you for taking out your precious time on a Saturday morning to join us for Ao Dai Day. So I would like to invite MPP Tom Rakosovic to share a few words.
Thank you very much, Kelly. And thank you so much. I'm very proud to wear an Ao Dai and Ao Dai Day, and I really appreciate you lending me one for this occasion. I think it's a beautiful garment of your culture, and I think it's a great symbol to get people talking about what's happening, which is human trafficking, child exploitation, which is terrible. It's a scourge, and we should work very hard to eliminate this everywhere in the world. I was very proud not that long ago to speak in government. We have been debating a bill combating human trafficking as well, and speaking to the supports that are needed for families, the education that needs to continue to happen. And this is something that affects us all. So I really appreciate that all the efforts that Ao Dai Canada does in promoting education on this and combating the scourge.
Yes. And what are your thoughts about Ao Dai Day?
I think, as I had said, I think it's a wonderful idea. It gets people talking because, you know, you're wearing this traditional garment that's beautiful, but then underlying it, it gets a conversation about something that is terrible and is sad. Similar to the Taste of Vietnam, for instance, that you host. And I know that under the pandemic, you were unable to do it last year, but we would attend that. And many people would show up looking to experience wonderful and a tasty cuisine. But then when they're there, they begin to realize and learn what it's all about. And I think it's a really intelligent way of going about making this change and educating people. I think it's an excellent initiative, and I'm happy to participate.
Could you share with us what is the Ontario NDP doing to support the mission of stopping human trafficking and child exploitation?
Well, I think the issue is something that all politicians across every level of government and all political stripes are doing, which is to combat and speak against it. Recently, we were in support of a bill that has been tabled and is now past second reading regarding human trafficking. And what we did was, as part of the debate, we really tried to focus the conversation more about adding more features to the legislation pertaining to education so that people understand what's happening and what the signs are of it and how to stop it, as well as supports for individuals and families who have gone through this. So this has been something that we've been advocating for very strongly, and I was proud to speak to it as well.
Thank you very much. You help us to be a bigger voice. So thank you very much for being the voice for the voiceless and joining us on this journey.
And thank you. You're making a difference in people's lives. You're saving children, and you're making the world a better place by fighting this terrible scourge that's happening everywhere. So I really appreciate everything that you're doing, and we support you, and we're going to continue to come out to your events and continue to spread the word, because it has to stop.
Thank you very much. Our team will love to hear all these wonderful encouragement words from you. We had so many volunteers behind the scene. I would say more than 20 volunteers that's working on this project this year, but because of the timing and they have to work, they couldn't join us. But all the efforts that they do behind the scene is unimaginable, and it's all dedicated, and they donated all of their time. So I will definitely pass on the message to our team behind the scenes of what you just said.
And so let me put it very clear then, to each and every single volunteer, whether you're on this call, whether you'll be watching this later, we appreciate you. You're making a difference in the world. You're making the world a better place. And from the bottom of my heart, I thank you so much for what you're doing. Keep up the fight.
Thank you. Good morning, Councillor Anthony. It's wonderful to have you today.
No, thank you. Thank you for having me. It's a wonderful meet, and it's a wonderful opportunity to engage with you on this very special day.
Yes, and for sure, next time when we have the Taste of Vietnam Ao Dai Festival, hopefully in 2022, we will definitely make you an Ao Dai for you to wear. Okay.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Absolutely.
Yes, so you've been to our Ao Dai event in 2019. How did you feel about that event?
You know, this is one of the things that we are losing out on in this. COVID has forced us into this virtual environment, and while it's very nice to meet and to be able to continue to engage, in no way, shape, or form does it replace the gatherings, the coming together. That was a very, very special event. Lots of, pageantry. It was a wonderful evening. And it was wonderful to see so many young people engaged in and involved in a sort of a traditional day and a traditional event that we are in this melting pot of Western culture. We're losing out on. So you're recognizing this day. It's very symbolic, and we lose these kinds of things. We don't stop and pause and say, you know what? Let's wear something that represents the finer things that define us as a culture, as a society, as human beings. Things that are underscored, with words like beauty, respect, pride. That's so very important, and we don't transmit that to to our young people. I guess we do. We do in different ways, but we don't do it in that collective context. And then not just that, but then to connect that to an even bigger societal issue like child exploitation, like human trafficking. Sort of bringing us back to that awareness that not everybody is like us in our cozy little lives, where we don't see this stuff, we're not affected by it, it doesn't touch us. So we don't reflect on it happening to other people. How some humans are exploiting and degrading and traumatizing other human beings for their own gain, and we don't do that. And I think it's wonderful to sort of take a pause and say, you know what, these are issues, and we need to have those things in the back of our minds, because if we don't do that, and if we don't reflect on them, they just carry on. It just continues, and it's wonderful to see so many young people like yourselves engaged in this cultural expression, and hanging on to those traditions, to those values that were passed on to you by your own culture, by your own parents, by your own ancestors.
Yes, thank you for sharing your thoughts. Definitely, we have been here for over 40 years. So when I was young, in my teens, I was encouraged by the brothers and sisters in the community that went before me, and they have set a pathway for us and inspire us to continue what they have started. So I have to thank all of our brothers and sisters in our community that have took the first step of introducing the culture to me, because I came here when I was very young, at 5 years old, so I did not know anything about Vietnam. But because I participated in community, I learned through the events that I've attended. So I hope that what we do now will inspire the younger generation to continue to carry on that. And we are very, very thankful for your support and encouragement, because we cannot do this alone. So thank you very much, Councillor Anthony.
No. I'm happy to do that. And like you, I come from somewhere else as well. And with my own history, and I can tell you it. I came from Italy, and we've been here for a bit longer than the 40 years as a community, obviously. And I can tell you, it's very, very difficult to work at hanging on to those traditions, to those, in some cases, to those values that are inherent to that particular history and to that. And to that particular culture, because we live in a very sort of cosmopolitan country, and it's very, very easy to sort of just simply be absorbed by what I call sort of the melting pot of Western culture and Western values, and it's hard to hang on to that history, and it's hard to hang on to that sort of those cultural things that make you you in a sense. So, and it's tough to pass them on. And what we're finding as a community, it's really tough to get young people engaged in some of those things. For example, one of the big things that I recall in as being Italian is the Saint Day celebrations, the country being predominantly Catholic. There's obviously religion was and religious celebrations very much at the heart of all our cultural expressions. And I remember, as a young boy in Italy doing that, celebrating that a lot. And I remember coming over here, and we did it a bit more as you know, sort of as regional communities coming from or immigrating from Italy. But over time, with all of these other influences, you begin to lose out on that, and you begin to lose out on those expressions that make you uniquely that define you uniquely as a distinctive community. So it's tough, and I'm sure that all of you are finding similar issues with that, sort of passing that on to your siblings, passing that on to your friends who are somewhat more immersed in Canadian culture and have been absorbed somewhat more by Canadian culture. And that's why I say it's so important to take a pause and recognize a day like today, like Ao Dai Day, to say, you know what, this is part of our history, and part of sort of taking a day and just reflecting on some values that are important and that make us better people. Imagine just the notion of sort of talking to young people or explaining to them about respect, and what that involves and what that entails, and how that's a two-way street. If you want respect, you got to give respect, right? And regrettably, while we do it in our own family context now, in our own family settings, we don't do that as a society and as a people, and I think that that's somewhat problematic because it diminishes all of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that being said, this mission started officially in 2016 when we opened our nonprofit organization, Ao Dai Canada. So this year we took a strong leap of faith to actually submit a proclamation day for Ao Dai Day, May 15th. So unfortunately, it didn't got approved in time for today, but we hope that we are able to get that day officially for next year, so that it become an actual official Ao Dai Day for everyone, not just the Vietnamese community, but we love every community to join us to celebrate this day.
Well, you know what? For me, it's now I'm going to make this connection forever. May 15th is the day I took out. When I got married, my marriage license. So it's a bit of a personal anniversary for me. So and as soon as I end this call, I'm going to go and remind my wife that that's what we did. Okay, on May 15th as well. Yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you. So for the past couple of weeks, we couldn't do anything publicly because of the COVID lockdown, but our Ao Dai Canada team behind the scene did put on a nice virtual event called the Memoir of the Ao Dai. So it's just a memoir of all of the individual love and stories of the Ao Dai. So today we have two of our contestants that's joining us. Ting An, she was one of our contestants. Beautiful pictures of her in Ao Dai that she posted on social media, as well as Chi Sung. She was also one of our contestants. So we would love for you to hear their stories, and I would like to invite Ting An, if you would like to share your story, please.
First of all, thank you for your give me a chance to join this event today. I'm proud of my Ao Dai. It's a traditional Vietnamese traditional uniform. It's not just only clothes. It's about the culture, about the spirit, and it fit for women, men, and all kinds of age. Older, younger, any kind of age, we can wear that. And I am proud to a part of this. And because this event is about the awareness about the against human trafficking, and that's why I'm proud to part of this. And because children are the future of this world, and they must be protected and motivated in this of being exploited and abused. Also, I will get my Canadian citizens next year, and I want to give back to society have also in Vietnam. That's why I love, and I proud to wear Ao Dai and attend of this event and organized by Ao Dai. So that's it, my story I want to share with all of you today.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yes.
And, she has been a great volunteer for us, especially the Taste of Vietnam Festival. She was one of our dancers and models. So we were very lucky to have over 250 volunteers who dedicated 4 months of every weekend to come and practice rehearsal so we could have a nice cultural festival like we did. So applaud to all the wonderful volunteers for their spirit. Now I would like to invite Chị Tân. I would need to speak Vietnamese for this one, so please excuse me and I will recap what she said later. Mến chào chị Tân, chị là một trong những thí sinh của Memoir of the Áo Dài. Thì hôm nay chị có thể chia sẻ ý nghĩa về áo dài đối với chị được không ạ?
Mà chị nói tiếng Việt được không?
Dạ được. Dạ, mời chị nói nha.
Cái áo dài đối với chị nó rất có một ý nghĩa đặc biệt. Tại vì nó tượng trưng cho cái truyền thống của người Việt mình. Thứ nhất là ngay khi từ nhỏ chị đã rất là yêu thích áo dài, nhưng mà chị không có điều kiện để có áo dài để mặc. Thành chị rất là khao khát. Nó nổi chị khao khát, nó nổi mà chị dùng giấy, chị cắt những cái áo dài bằng giấy rồi chị mặc cho búp bê, rồi chị tưởng tượng như là chị mặc cho chính chị. Cái nỗi khao khát nó nổi mà khi mà chị được mặc cái áo dài lần đầu tiên tại vì trường của chị học là trường nữ trung học Huyền Trân, thì là lớp 6, lớp 7 thì mặc đầm, tới lớp 8 được mặc áo dài. Và cái ngày đầu tiên chị mặc cái chiếc áo dài vô chính cái thân của mình đó, chị rất là xúc động và chị cảm thấy có một cái gì đó nó làm cho chị khác hẳn, giống như mình thấy mình lớn lên, mình thấy mình rất là thích thú. Thành chị cứ đi qua đi lại, chị cứ soi gương, chị cảm thấy cuộc đời của chị giống như là khác hoàn toàn. Nhưng mà chị đi học năm lớp 8 thì nhà giàu thì họ rất có nhiều áo dài, nhưng mà đối với chị chỉ có 2 cái thôi. Một cái để chị mặc rồi giờ chị giặt rồi chị thay cái khác, có nghĩa là mỗi tuần chị đi học 5 ngày, nhưng mà chị chỉ được có 2 cái áo dài đó thôi. Thì khi chị lớn lên á, chị bắt đầu chị đi học thì chị cũng không có nhiều tiền để买áo dài, nhưng mà khi mà để dành được tiền là cái đầu tiên nghĩ tới là买áo dài. Thành bây giờ chị có rất là nhiều áo dài, mà bây giờ có nói là chị có trên 100 cái áo dài, nhưng mà chính 100 cái áo dài đó nó cũng làm cho chị rất là hối hận. Khi chị may xong rồi chị mặc rồi chị chụp hình chị bỏ lên thì cháu của chị Việt Nam, phải nói là gia đình chị Việt Nam vẫn còn rất là nghèo, có những đứa nó cũng không có đồ để ăn, không có nhà để ở. Nó nói là tại sao dì có thể dùng tiền chị may cho thiệt nhiều áo dài chị mặc mà dì có nghĩ tới con cháu của dì hay không. Cái điều đó nó làm cho chị rất là buồn. Em có biết không, chị buồn lắm. Thành từ đó là chị hơn 3 năm rồi chị hứa là chị không bao giờ may nữa, chị không may áo dài nữa, chị giữ những cái áo dài đó chị mặc tới mặc lui thôi, chị không may nữa. Tại vì chị thấy chị cảm thấy rất là bị đau, em biết không, bị tổn thương. Tại mình nghĩ là người nhà của mình chưa có điều kiện để giúp người nhà của mình cho họ có một cuộc sống khá hơn, mà mình dùng cái tiền đó mình chi phí với những cái chuyện như là không phải là không đáng. Nhưng mà chị nói thiệt, chị qua đây tới giờ chị chưa bao giờ mà mua cái gì mắc tiền. Những cái áo dài của chị cũng như là những cái áo dài cũng là thường mấy chục đồng thôi, nhưng mà mấy chục đồng mà nó nhiều cái thì nó cũng thành nhiều tiền. Cái điều đó làm cho chị rất là hối hận. Nhưng mà khi chị nhìn thấy một cái áo dài đẹp thì chị không có cầm được cái lòng của mình rất là ham muốn. Nhưng mà 3 năm nay chị không dám may áo dài nữa. Thành ra là trong chị cái áo dài nó có một cái gì đó rất là Việt Nam. Chỉ có người Việt của mình nó mới có tà áo dài thước tha như vậy, nó mất có cái dáng vẻ uyển chuyển của người con gái Việt. Chứ còn những nước khác giờ có mặc vô cái đẹp cỡ nào nhưng mà nó cũng không có cái dáng của cái người Việt. Đó là cái điều của chị muốn chia sẻ ngày hôm nay.
Dạ, cảm ơn chị đã chia sẻ rất là tâm tình về chiếc áo dài. Thì riêng em nghĩ rằng là đối với em á, thì em rất mê áo dài. Thì nó là động lực cho em đi làm thêm. Ví dụ bình thường mà chủ cho em làm có 8 tiếng một ngày thì em sẽ xin làm thêm 2 tiếng nữa. Để cái tiền dư đó em có thể may được chiếc áo dài. Vì chiếc áo dài như chị nói nó không phải là một cái trang phục hay là một cái quần áo thôi, nhưng mà nó là một cái tinh thần tự tin và cái niềm hãnh diện của mình. Cho nên đối với em nó không phải chỉ là một cái áo mà mình mua mình trả tiền rồi mình mặc như những cái áo khác, nhưng mà khi khoác lên chiếc áo dài nó nói lên cái tự hào của dân tộc của mình. Cho nên nếu mà đó là động lực để mà mình làm thêm để kiếm thêm tiền để mua thì em cũng sẽ hy sinh làm như thế. Thì cảm ơn chị đã chia sẻ rất là tâm tình. I won't be able to translate as powerful or as meaningful as Tuấn did, but basically recap of what she said was back in the day in Vietnam, even for my family and hers and many others, it was very poor. She dreamt of wearing an ao dai ever since she was very little, but because she didn't have the financial, she would cut the ao dai out of paper, so she would put it on her doll, thinking that that's her wearing it. But it was when she went to high school, I believe, or grade 8 or grade 9, that they had uniform for ao dai at the school. So she was very happy the first time she got to wear the ao dai that she dreamt for so long. But because of financial difficulties, she only had 2 ao dai, so she would wash it every single day to rewear it. So that's a lot of situation with our Vietnamese, even for my family. We were very poor in Vietnam. That having something like what I have wearing now, or we wearing now, is like a privilege, like a big deal, right? So now that she's able to afford more ao dai, she has over 100 ao dai that she has. But even though it's a garment to most people when they look at her, but to her it's a symbol of her culture, her pride, her confidence when she wear her traditional outfits. So it means a lot to her, and that's the recap of what she says. So thank you, Thiên Anh and Chị Tâm, for joining us today. And I have to shout out to all of the behind the scenes, not just for this year, but for all the years. All the volunteers, the sponsors, the donors, the people who helped us, the people who support us, strangers that see us on the street wearing this and coming up to ask us, like everyone who have lent a helping hand. No help is ever too small. They have helped us be where we are today. And especially this year with COVID, and we are I am very depressed staying home, and through these events, I'm able to connect with you guys. I have something to look forward to. And I've been working with Rachel, Evelyn, Alida, and Adelina from the city. We got our flag flown yesterday, so it was really nice to see that. And hopefully we will be able to have Ao Dai Day officially with the proclamation for next year. So it's exciting and happy, positive news and spirit for this difficult time that we're all experiencing in our community. So I just really want to thank you, everyone, for joining us today, everyone who's going to be watching this, the young generation. We hope that you carry on this legacy, carry on the spirit, and through this, we are a bigger voice together for the voiceless. And would Tom and Anthony want to share any last words with us?
You want sure. Listen, I just want to thank all of you and everyone who I know that has to spend a lot of time working at pulling these events and this awareness together. It doesn't happen easily, and you all need to be credited for that. So thank you all very much on behalf of that broader community that's out there that often doesn't recognize that and doesn't appreciate that. Just so you understand that some of us do get how much work is actually involved in doing this stuff, and you all should be recognized for that. So thank you.
And I wanted to thank Ao Dai Canada again for your important work every year. I want to commemorate this 5th anniversary because it is, you did begin, you say, was it 2016 or 2015?
2016, yes.
There you go. So this is the 5th anniversary, and I wish you many more years because we have to continue to fight this and combat this. And I was very proud to wear the Ao Dai that you lent to me today in support of it. And we continue to stand with you. And I want to thank each and every one of your volunteers and everyone who are working so hard to fight this, to educate people, and to make the world a better place. Thank you so much for what you do. I'm so proud to be here today, in support of you.
Thank you for all of you, and thank you for. I wish all of you healthy and be safe. That's it.
Chị Tân có muốn chia sẻ những lời cuối với mọi người không ạ?
Chị nói tiếng Anh không?
Chị muốn nói tiếng gì cũng được.
Cảm ơn tất cả mọi người đã cho chị cơ hội để được dự thi cái thi áo dài này. Tại chị trước kia chị cũng có nghe Hồng Miên đó, chị rất là muốn dự thi nhưng mà chị không có biết làm sao để thi. Đợt này chị vô chị thi chị rất là vui. Cảm ơn tất cả mọi người đã giúp đỡ em trong mọi công việc em làm. Chị rất là ngưỡng mộ em, rất là thương em giống như người em ruột của chị. Cảm ơn tất cả những điều mà em đã làm.
Dạ, em cảm ơn chị khích lệ, nhưng mà những công việc này một mình em làm không được đâu. Chúa đã ban những quý ân nhân và những bạn đồng hành cùng chúng ta cùng nhau làm. Cho nên rất vui được chị tham gia và hy vọng mỗi năm chị cùng tham gia tiếp nhé. And last but not least, Khóa, he's also wearing a beautiful Ao Dai today. Would you like to share a few words?
Well, I do want to echo what Kelly and all of our board of directors members always say. We can only carry our word so far. The rest is how people around us perceive it and whether they decide to broadcast it on. And for that reason, I am, and also our board of director members and all our volunteers are forever grateful for politicians' involvement, volunteers' recognition, and everybody behind the scene. We cannot do that without you. We cannot spread the word as efficiently as we can without your help. So thank you so much for being here today in appearance and also in spirit. We look forward for many more events to come in which we can celebrate both the beauty of our culture and also address the issue underneath so that the vulnerable can be freer, can be less, can suffer less, and we can we can have a better life all together. That is what I would like to close this with.
Thank you very much, our board of director of Ao Dai Canada, Khóa, for his work behind the scenes tremendously. Very humble guy, so thank you very much, and all of our other board members that couldn't be here today. They are with us in spirit. So Rachel did ask if we can take a selfie photos. So everyone, you want to smile for Rachel.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Here, I'll come in as well. Okay, I think I got it.
Wonderful. If you can share that with us, that would be great too. Okay, Rachel?
I'll send it to you, Kelly. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you, everyone. Thank you, Rachel and Evelyn and Idalina for helping behind the scenes. And we wish you all the best. Stay safe. And for sure, when we're able to do our Taste of Vietnam Ao Dai Festival, I will make sure each and every one of you will have one. And we will take a photo together instead of virtually like this. So God bless you. Stay safe. And hope we see each other again very soon.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank
Absolutely.
you, everyone.
Thank you all very much. Bye-bye.
Yes. Bye-bye. Thank you.